Okay, so what you're going to need is a piece of paper and a ruler, a pencil, and an eraser. So the first thing you do is you draw the horizon line. So approximately wherever you want. More land, more sky. And on the horizon line, you put your vanishing point. Okay? So from this vanishing point, we're going to draw the sidewalk. So we're going to put a point where our sidewalk ends. 1, 2, and this is the curb. 3. And we're going to join the 2 dots. It has to go through the vanishing point. So, vanishing point. Right. And on our other side, the same. 1, 2, 3. So figure out where you want it. 1. No, maybe a bit more over. 1 here. About that wide. So you're going to join. Join. And join. Right. So what we're trying to do is the perspective of what somebody sees. If they were standing right here, this is what he would see. Okay? Okay, I'm going to put my little man away. He would also see the middle of the road with the lines. So just a little bit there. Now as things go further into distance, they get tighter and tighter, smaller and smaller, so that the lines on the road, actually that one should come here, would be smaller, and they get closer and closer and closer and closer until. Now everything going back, as I said, is running along this grid. These are imaginary lines, imaginary guidelines. So everything is on this, especially when it comes to man-made structures. And then we have the vertical lines, and the horizontal. So on the vertical, in this picture, we have trees, and they're getting smaller as they go into the distance. We also have a hedge, which is going into the distance. And next week we're going to do buildings. Okay, so I actually decided to put some mountains in mine. So I drew some Canadian mountains like this, and I figured out my tree in the distance is going to be here. My other tree will be about here, and my biggest tree will be here, and it will come to about here. So this one, the line, the next tree will be here, and the next tree will be about here. So if we draw the greenery of the tree and the trunk. Okay, I'm just drawing the basic ones, and you can make it your own after. So these could be telegraph poles. You could do a railroad. You could do a fence. But I did trees because with the trees, it's more organic and it's more spontaneous. With buildings, it's much more structured. On my picture, I also put a square-like hedge because often they are so square. So I'm going to put my hedge here, at the bottom of my hedge here, and it's going to come up to about here. So that means the bottom of my hedge is here. It's not going all the way to the back. And this side of the hedge is going to go vertical. And I want it about that high. So it isn't measured, but the only rules are you have to put everything on that joining to the horizon line. So this line, this dot joins to the horizon line. But we're not going to draw there. I'm just going to draw here. Now the hedge, the top of the hedge is horizontal, going in line with the horizon. So I only want it about this wide. I don't want it this wide. Hedges are only like that. So once again, you join this dot with the horizon line. Okay, it looks very square, but what we're going to do is, or you're going to do is, you're going to take your darker markers, once you know where everything goes, and you can draw it kind of like grass. Put in some hedges here, maybe some grass here, a bit here, and you're going to rub out all these square lines when you color it in. So I put in a lake kind of here. So this is the closest edge to the lake, and this would be far away. So if you were standing here, you'd be approximately this big. And this person would be this big. So you can have fun putting in you know, the sun, and the other thing I put in to create the illusion of distance was birds flying in the sky. So above the horizon line, the lines are going this way. So your birds, to make them seem like they're going into the distance, your big birds would be here, and they would get tiny as they go, okay, into the distance. All right. So I hope that makes sense for you. And I'll see you in school. Bye-bye.